Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh Ji. So many parents do ask questions related to their family, especially the children. And some of the local families in India, including some from Mumbai, they requested that it might be good to do a session on this topic, where we all of us can learn that how we should understand and understand about our child's behavior for the parents and for the children who are online. And many of us understand that how we can manage or how we can help our child to become a, a positive, productive child, which each parent want for the child to be like. I think within the busyness of our lives, sometimes we don't realize and end up doing few things which we shouldn't be doing, but then at the end we realize, oh my God, now it's too late. It's getting very difficult to manage the situation. So this topic is all about understanding our child, understanding our children, and helping them to grow in the most positive environment, most positive culture around them. Many times parents take for granted that they're doing the best, but sometimes the best what they've done or what we do might turn out as worst for our children, because we are parents and we can't see out of the filter of the parenthood. But with the advancement of this Kal-yugi times, we have to follow the pace of the Kal-yug in our parenthood also. To start with, we just need to touch upon what does it mean by a spoiled child. Who can we call as a spoiled child? Many times we see, especially when it's a child of another parent, we notice negative things around them very quickly. And in our mind, in our brain, we start making this kind of judgment. Oh, ये बच्चा बहुत शरारती है यार. He's all spoiled. बहुत pampered है यार. की है? गल नहीं सुनता किसी दी. But these thoughts come very easy if we look at someone else's child. But if our own child is doing the same thing, it's very easy to ignore. It's very easy to just let it go, because it's been done by our child. We are doing it. We have done it. It's our child. So if a child is, everyone loves naughty child. They're fun, they're cute, but there's always a boundary. And when the child crosses a boundary, then that's when we need to understand that it's going towards a spoiled side of the things. One thing we need to understand, that no child on the earth is actually born spoiled. कोई भी बच्चा spoiled born नहीं होता है. हरेक first of all ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰਬਾਣੀ ਦੇ ਆਧਾਰ ਤੇ ਦੇਖੀਏ ਕਿ ਭਈ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੇ ਹੁਰੀਆ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਣ ਕੀ ਇਹੋ ਤੇਰੀ ਭਰੀਆ. This is the lifetime which is being given to us to become one with Maharaj. So if we have attained so many qualities, so many goodness in ourselves, only then we have given this chance to become a human being, to become a man, to become a child. And that's why we have been given birth in a human form body. So no child is born spoiled. So then why do we say that some children are spoiled? Why do we say that, oh, bachcha bigad gaya hai, oh, bachcha bada kharab hai? They don't listen to this. Then who is responsible? If a child themselves are not spoiled by birth, and we all agree to this because this is what Gurbani says. Otherwise, we won't have been given this chance to come on the earth in first place. Now we have been given the chance to come onto the earth in first place. That means as a child we have got all the good qualities, we got all the positivity in ourselves. That's why Maharaj has given us a chance. So each child born is not spoiled, Sadh Sangat ji. We need to understand then what is happening. Why a child who has been given chance to become one with Maharaj got spoiled. Oh my God, completely opposite. Completely opposite. So this is like you have gone for an interview to, let's say, for a manager's job, or you've gone for an interview for a chief exec job in a company. And after being interviewed, you have been offered a job of a watchman, of a security guard at the company. This is like that, or not even that. So we need to understand that something happened in the child's life which took him away from this unity with God and took him towards the spoiledness. If the child is harming the culture, the environment around ourselves, if the child is showing an extreme behavior around ourselves, if the child is not doing as expected from him, then these are the signs which those children are said to be a spoiled child. Now, we mention that Gurbani says ki pai prapat manukh de huriya gobind milan ki eh teri bariya. This is the main thing which we have to keep touching again and again, saying कि a child is not born spoiled. कोई भी बच्चा spoiled born नहीं होता है. We need to remember this in our head for whole of this session. I'll keep touching it back. Then why? What are the reasons why children may become spoiled? Then what are the reasons? Now we need to look at those reasons. One of the reasons could be the pampering from the parents. I want it now. I want it right now. When being a parent, we have got a very soft heart toward our children, and we love them so much that we want to buy each and every second of happiness for our children. This is very natural for every parent on the earth. But when your child understands this, I can ask anything from my parents, slowly and gradually, childs make this kind of feeling, this kind of impression in the mind that parents are entitled to fulfill my demands, all the demands, all the time, every time. And now this is not child's problem. This is a situation which we have created. This is a situation which we let our children to believe that Put tu mang te main tenu dinda aa, tiye tu mang te main tenu dindi aa, main tenu dindi aa, this is it, this is that, and slowly and gradually they just fall in a trap. Oh wow, this is amazing. They don't even know that there's something called no. You won't get it because this is not good for you, because you may not be able to afford it, because this is not the right time, because you just got a gift last week or last month. These are the things which we need to keep in our mind before we start giving anything to our children. Are we not doing any harm? So pampering is one of the reasons. And in this pampering situation, sometimes we start giving unearned gifts also. बच्चे ने कुछ भी नहीं किया तां भी गिफ्ट दे जाओ चक के. वाओ. तो जे उन्हों कुछ कर लें दइए पहले, let the child earn the gift and then give it. These things start adding the negative effect on the child's attitude and the behavior. When we do pampering, when we do over pampering, प्यार करिए लेकिन खराब ना करिए. Another reason for children to get spoiled. So we need to remember one thing. ਭਾਈ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੇ ਹੁਰੀਆ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਣ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਬਰੀਆ. J. Guru Nanak Sahib Maharaj have sent us on the earth in this human body. That means we have got all the good qualities, we have got all the reasons to become one with God. That's why we have given the chance. But if we are not becoming one with Maharaj, and because of some odd reason which child doesn't even know, child doesn't even understand, so something is not right, is not happening in your children's life, which we need to sort out. And this whole session is about sorting that thing out. Compensating the parents. Now, children, or बच्चे या बहुत सारे बच्चे, many children just do see, understand, feel materialism around themselves. Yes, there are some lucky children who are not materialistic, and those are the children who we don't call them children. They are like Mahapurush, they are like good souls. Baba Nand Singh Ji Maharaj Kalera wale never been into these materialistic things. Sant Maharaj Atar Singh Mastwane wale, Tan Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji Maharaj, Tan Guru Nanak Dev Ji Maharaj. Those are the souls which came on the earth and they were never into this materialism. But then there were souls within these families itself. So for example, Baba Atal Rai Ji, son of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji Maharaj. And we'll share this story later on when we reach the stage. But yes, you got the two sides of the coin. So compensating with children are materialistic. जिन्ने भी बच्चे हैगे उन्होंने कोई टॉय चाहिए, कोई कुछ चाहिए, खिलौने चाहिए, कुछ चाहिए, because that's how they grow, they learn, their mind grows, their brain learns about new things, about the colors, about the alphabets, about the places, about the locations. That's why schools are there, that's why languages are there. So बच्चे दी growth वास्ते सब कुछ ज़रूरी हुंदा है. But then because we are so busy, because each one of us are so busy in our daily life, work, job, manager, household stuff, we don't get enough time to spend with children. And that's when we start giving some materialistic goodies to our children to make up for the loss of the time. चल पुत्त तू ये ले ला, चल पुत्त तू ये कर ला, अच्छा मैं अपनी माँ नाल गल करनी है, अब पुत्त तू ये वाला फोन ला ला, चल तू गेम खेल ला. This is a reality. This is a reality. We don't want to spend time. We don't want to make effort at that level because we feel, oh, we are so elder. There is a very big gap. What we can learn from child, what good we can get. But that's where we are making the mistake. That's where we are making this gap bigger between us and our child. And this is what's gonna come back to us very soon. When without us being realizing, this will come back to us very soon. If a child is asking for our money and we keep giving the money just for the sake because we are not being able to spend time with them, then that's when child start thinking, okay, so this is my birthright, I can ask money. Giving our child financial liberty is one of the first and biggest reason why a child may become spoiled. Because giving child money is not an issue, but giving money to the child without giving them the knowledge about how to save the money, how to use money wisely, how difficult it is to earn monies in the first place. These are the few things which we need to make them understand first, and then start giving them the money. Then they will realize, then they will appreciate. Which is because they don't know these things, very sooner, they become victim of not understanding the value of the money. And that's when things start going out of the control. So this is, in first place, it's our job to make them understand what money is, what is the value of the money is in the family life. हाँ, कोई साधु महात्मा है कि या लंगर चलाऊंदे या सेवा कर दे या, it's fine, they can do anything to everything. But for us, for the Gristi people, it's very important for our child to understand the value of the money. And many families, they don't feel that it's right to actually discuss financial situation. Why to put pressure on the children? Why do we need to discuss these things with each other? They're very young. But that's when they have to understand the value of money. When they're young, so that they start appreciating whatever we are doing for them. Another reason child can get spoiled is a friend circle. If he or she is in a spoiled circle, spoiled friendship around them, then it's very easy to start copying them. It's very easy to start thinking they are getting it, I should be getting it, because they can relate. Oh, they're my age, so I believe that, I mean, if their parents are doing it, so my parents should also do for me. Peer influence can be either good or bad. But in case child is influenced by the kids of his age in a negative way, then it becomes a complete chain cycle, which is very difficult to break. So we need to understand, is our child picking up the habits of showing off? Is child picking up those habits from those spoiled children, which we don't expect because we are not speaking about them? So, for example, Bachita Singh picked up something from school, I mean, few months ago, and just need notice ki, you know what, Bachita, you from where you have learned this typical word, this particular word. And he said, someone said in the school, he was not aware of the meaning, why this being said, but he picked up. And later he realized that he should not be doing that. So children are very, very innocent, and they're very plain hearted, but that's why they are very easy to become prone to anything which they shouldn't be. Another reason our child can be spoiled is the overprotectiveness. 24 ਘੰਟੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਨਿਗਰਾਨੀ ਰੱਖਣੀ, 24 ਘੰਟੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਮਤਲਬ ਇੱਕ ਇਹੋ ਜਿਹੀ ਘੁੱਟਣ ਦੇ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਲਾਈਕ squeezing the neck kind of situation. Too many restrictions, too many punishments, physical violence, overprotective. So physical violence is a bit more than overprotectiveness, but we need to understand that none of us wants to be controlled too much. Kids should be controlled, but to a level so that they can understand the meaning of the being in control. But when it becomes too much for them, then it becomes unhealthy, and the frustration and the anger and those kind of negative feelings started getting developed in the children. And that's when they start going out and they start taking these negative energies out on other people, and which is what is making them a spoiled child out there in the eyes of the society. So overprotectiveness is also one of the reasons. Yes, we should be protective, but not overprotective. This is a thing for the parents which we need to learn, not the children. Using physical violence is another reason. ਸਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਜਾਨ ਹੈ, ਸ਼ਕਤੀ ਹੈ, because we are much elder than our children. But that's not the way our children should be treated. We should be controlling ourselves. हाँ, बच्चे गलती करते हैं, they do commit mistakes, they may say wrong things, they may not listen to us, they may not follow to us, but then there should be a balance between our anger and us being physical with them and making them explain the things. Being physical with them may not understand them that this is the right way of dealing with the things, because when we are becoming physical with them, they will pick up this from us and they start becoming physical with others out in the society, because they have learned from us. They see this is a solution. If someone is not listening to me, patak, someone is not doing my way, bushum, because they have picked from us. They don't know the difference. So using physical violence is not the solution to control the children or to make them become very good out of a sudden. We need to treat them like a children. We need to sit down, अपने गुस्से ते कंट्रोल रखिए. ਉਹ ਸਾਡਾ ਹੀ ਬੱਚਾ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਹੀ ਜੰਮਿਆ ਉਹਨੂੰ, ਉਹ ਸਾਡੀ ਹੀ ਇਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਖੁਸ਼ੀਆਂ ਨਾਲ ਮੰਗੀ ਹੋਈ ਦਾਤ ਆ. Then why are we using physical violence? Why? I'm giving an example. Most of us use smartphones. Most of us use smartwatches. Most of us use smart TVs at the home. How many of us took out our violence on them, on these pieces? How many of us pick up the phone and throw off because of anger, because phone have got a negative message, or मेरी आज manager ने मैनू गाल कड्डी phone दे ऊपर चक के phone सुटता है? How many of us do that? Why do we? This is happening because we parents, as parents we see we are much elder than our children. We have got more power, physical power than our children, and we can do much more than what they can do, what children can do. This is the thing which we need to take out from the mind. Because if we think like this, our children will also think like this. And this start happening in the house itself. So elder child start hitting the younger child, because he also developed that feeling of using physical violence. So that one thing which is a reason why our child may get spoiled. Another reason, Sadh Sangat ji, this is the most common, is not inculcating good manners and basic courtesy towards others. That's another reason which जो सी expect करते हैं अपने बच्चों तो. If we go out somewhere, maybe for a dinner, maybe for a lunch or to visit someone, we expect our child to be mannered, well mannered, drama nahi karna, bahut rola rappa nahi paana, mangna nahi, main bhi lena, main oh bhi lena. We do expect these things. We do. However, have we taught our children to behave like this? Have we put these good manners in them time to time as and when they're growing up? Are we putting these good manners in our children? Are we showing them how to sit on the dinner table? Are we showing how to sit on the study table? Are we showing them time to time? Because they keep developing, they keep picking up bad habits or bad manners from the peers or from the surroundings they may be in. And because for all those reasons which we have shared above, for all those above reasons, pampering, giving financial liberty, and so on, but are we inculcating all these good manners in the children? If not, then they can be spoiled very easily and do look spoiled out also. Some parents have got this habit of saying yes to everything for the children. A lot of the parents think that our child, this is the birthright of our child, that we have to fulfill the wishes. But fulfilling wishes, saying yes to everything, is one thing. However, being realistic, being I would say being genuinely honest is a different thing. Even if we've got monies, even if we've got resources, even if the child is deserving, even then we should say no when it is needed to be said. Even then. So that's one thing which we need to learn. Harek wari ha, yes, ke, we are giving a kind of impression to the child that yes, this is what is happening. And then when they start asking for something which we won't be able to say no, because we have made that kind of habit in our children. Now, how do we as parents understand that we are actually, without even realizing, we are raising a spoiled child? How do we realize that when a child is going towards a spoiled territory, or when the child is becoming spoiled? How do we as parents realize or understand? The first and foremost is if the child is not respectful. If child doesn't show that needed level of respect towards ourselves, towards other people, and that means he is not, he's going towards the spoiled territory. Second thing, and these are the things which can be easily picked up, if the child doesn't help others. So that means he is a kind of developing the kind of instinct in himself or herself. He should not be helping anyone. That's not his job. If a child is not helping yourself in doing any small to little things, or the child not helping the other peers in studies or something, and these are very easily seen. So for example, if mum said, "Putta mainu pani da glass le aade," and he says no, he doesn't listen, or he says no, he doesn't bother, he's just on his phone or mobile or something, tablet and something, then that means that yes, he's not showing the right behavior. That's when we have to pick these things up. If the child is always unsatisfied, ਜੋ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਦਈ ਹੈ, ਜਦੋਂ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਨੂੰ ਦੇ ਦਈ ਹੈ, ਪਰ ਹਰੇਕ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਦਿਨ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਆ, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਮਿਲਿਆ, even if we give them, and even then if they are showing this unsatisfaction, even then if they are showing that they are not satisfied yet, they are not contented, that also is taking them towards the negative side. Now, another way of realizing this fact, the child is spoiled or not, is their possessiveness with the things. If they are not sharing their things, yes, loving their food, loving their toys is very good, and once in a while, sometimes yes, they do being possessive, but every time if they show this possessiveness, then that's not good. That's when we have to pick that this is not right happening with the child. When the child is rude with others. So not helping is one thing, but it's deliberately rude with others, showing off, I am something more than yourself, I am something bigger than yourself. That's when we need to pick up these things. And finally, if the child is not thankful, if the child is ungrateful, even after getting so much from the parents, if the child is not being thankful, not being realizing, appreciating, doesn't show any gratitude, appreciation, then that's when we need to understand that child is not in the on the positive side. Hun Sat Sangat ji, we have heard that how we can pick up if our child is spoiled, what are the reasons why our child can be spoiled, but what are the effects of spoiling a child? Oda asar ki hona hai? Oda asar ki hona hai oda? This is the thing which we need to pick up, because इस चीज़ ने parents वास्ते बड़ी बड़ी problem बन जाना है if we don't understand what are the effects of spoiling a child. A child may turn out disrespectful to everyone around him, and honestly speaking, when I'm saying this, you might already have made some images in your brain, in your head. Oh yes, वो बच्चा है ना, वो वाकई spoiled है, किसी को सुनता नहीं, कोई respect नहीं करता किसी. You may have already made those impressions of the children which are gonna be like this. So the spoiled child will turn out to be disrespectful to everyone around him. He may find it really very hard to deal with the relationships. Akalla relationship parents de naal te nahi hega. They have to build relationships, wider relationships within the family. Kal nu vyah hona ya, bacche hone ya, in-laws hone ya, ਹੋਰ wider mame chache tae sare hone ya. All these relationships they'll find very hard because they are spoiled, because they live in their own kind of spoiled bubble. They may become lazy. So life ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ achievement ਵਾਲੀ ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਰਹਿ ਜਾਣੀ, ਕੁਝ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਣਗੇ, because it's us who have made this in their mind. ਬੇਟਾ ਪੁੱਤ ਪੈਸਾ ਲੈ ਲਾ, ਪੁੱਤਰ ਧੀਏ ਪੈਸਾ ਲੈ ਲਾ, ਇਹ ਤੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਰ ਲਾ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਗਿਫਟ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ, ਤੈਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਮਿਲ ਗਿਆ. We are the one who spoiled them, who have not put any value of the money, any value of the time in their minds. And now they've gone so far, they can't understand that. They have not learnt those ways. One of the effects of spoiling a child is they become materialistic. ਜਦੋਂ ਬੰਦਾ ਮਟੀਰੀਅਲ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਆ, ਰੱਬ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਔਖਾ ਹੋ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ. The more we become materialistic, the less we become spiritualistic. There is a very big gap. ਫਿਰ ਵਾਪਸ ਜਾਈਏ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਪੰਕਤੀ ਤੇ, ਭਈ ਪ੍ਰਾਪਤ ਮਾਨੁਖ ਦੇ ਹੁਰੀਆ, ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਣ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਤੇਰੀ ਬਰੀਆ. ਜੇ ਹੁਣ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਮਿਲਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹ ਲਾਈਫ ਮਿਲੀ ਹੈ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ have given us this lifetime to become one with God, and become one with God is a kind of right which Maharaj have given us. But because child is getting spoiled, he's becoming materialistic, and because he's become materialistic, he's going away and away and away and away from spiritualism, away and away from Maharaj. So then how he become one with God? How? So who is responsible? Now finally we need to understand how we can deal with the spoiled children. So we have learned all those things. Now we as a parent, we as a parents, because it's easy to blame others, not just children, it's easy to blame other parents, it's easy to blame other family members. ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਨੂੰ ਵਿਗਾੜਤਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਪੁੱਤ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਆ, ਉਹਨੇ ਇਹ ਕੀਤਾ ਆ. Remember Sat Sangat ji, we as mother and father are the highest influencer for our children. No one else can influence our child more than ourselves, because they are our blood, they are our skin, they are our vessels, arteries, veins, they are our bones. No one else can influence them anything. Jinna parent influence kar sakde hai. And if parents are doing the job rightly, very soon parents will realize that child have actually gone so far than even parents' expectations in terms of the goodness also. जे बच्चे बिगड़ सकते हैं, bad पासे जा सकते हैं, ते बच्चे good पासे भी बहुत छेती जा सकते हैं. One of the reasons, not because Bajita Singh is my son, I'm praising, it's not a praise, it's a practical example. That the age of 11, ਉਹਨੇ Sri Dasam Sahib ji ਦੇ ਸਹਿਜ ਪਾਠ ਕਰਕੇ ਤੇ ਭੋਗ ਪਾਇਆ. Even me as his dad never done that at that age, Sat Sangat ji. Because we were just try as best as possible, and ਉਹਦਾ impact ਇਹ ਹੈ. ਪਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਹਲੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਗਲਤੀਆਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਅਸੀਂ ਹਲੇ ਵੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ. Every time I said earlier कि we should not be showing our power and something, but many times we also lose the control. It's just because we're so busy. It's just because different situations, we're stressful, we're anxious, we're busy with other things. Child is not the priority at that particular moment, and that's when fire ho jandi hai puri di puri. Pura. And yes, this is true. Very true. So how we can deal with a spoiled child? Make sure that our child understands no one likes a spoiled child. ਸਾਡੇ ਨਿਆਣੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਸਮਝਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਉਹ ਸਪੋਇਲ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਪਸੰਦ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੇਗਾ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਲਾਈਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰੇਗਾ. That's the first thing we need to put in his mind and brain. His or his mind and brain. Instead of negative, instead of shouting, we should try the positive reinforcements. We should try be kind, be gentle. ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ kind, gentle ਹੋਵਾਂਗੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਵੀ ਉਹੀ ਪਿਕਅਪ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ. Very small example. We got refrigerators in our home, in our houses. ਅਸੀਂ ਰੈਫ੍ਰਿਜਰੇਟਰ ਦਾ ਡੋਰ ਖੋਲਿਆ, ਪਟਾਕ ਥਾੜ ਬੰਦ ਕੀਤਾ. ਰੈਫ੍ਰਿਜਰੇਟਰ ਦਾ ਡੋਰ ਖੋਲਿਆ, ਪੈਰ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੰਦ ਕੀਤਾ, with a foot, ਠਾ ਬੰਦ ਕੀਤਾ. Now child is picking up those things. Next time when you will ask him or her something ਕਿ ਪੁੱਤ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਰਿੱਜ ਤੋਂ ਪਾਣੀ ਦੀ ਬੋਤਲ ਦੇਈ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਰਿੱਜ ਤੋਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਕੱਢ ਕੇ ਦੇਈ, please give me a butter from the fridge. When he will close the door with the feet, you will find it very hard. You will find it very hard to understand कि why he is doing it. ਕਰਕੇ ਹੋਲੇ ਬੱਚਾ ਆ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਝਾੜ ਦੋਗੇ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਦੱਸੋਗੇ ਕਿ ਤੂੰ ਪੈਰ ਨਾਲ ਫਰਿੱਜ ਦਾ ਦਰਵਾਜ਼ਾ ਬੰਦ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀਤਾ. Why you actually touched the feet to a refrigerator door. But when we did it, he saw us. He or she saw us. He followed that what we did. So we have to be kind. We have to be gentle. ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਚਾਹ ਦਾ ਕੱਪ ਲਿਆ, ਥਰਡ ਗਲਾਸ ਤੇ ਰੱਖਿਆ, ਸਿੰਕ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸੁੱਟਿਆ, ਉਹਨੂੰ ਧੋਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਾਂ ਵਾਸ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ, child is picking up those things. He doesn't know what is right or wrong, Sat Sangat ji. We need to put right and wrong in his mind. We need to teach them. So we need to be kind and then gentle in our environment and try for reinforcing those positives instead of using negative energy around us. It's very easy to set the rules of the house, and it's even more easier to make sure our children follow those, because children are learning. For example, if a child is, let's say, start driving lessons, if a driving instructor tell them that Gaddi have got the 4 gears or 5 gears, they will pick up. That's a rule. That's the rule of that house. That's the rule of that car. We need to put some rules in the house which they will understand, which the children will understand. Ki puttar ji 5 ਵਜੇ ਉੱਠਣਾ ਆ, Amrit Vela ਹੈਗਾ ਆ, until you are the age of 10, 11, 5 ਵਜੇ. You cross the age of 11 or 12, 4 ਵਜੇ. You cross the age of 18, 3 ਵਜੇ. This is just a spiritual rule, but there could be more general dunyavi rule also. So when you wake up in the morning, please make sure you put your duvet in a right format. You put it up properly in the cupboard or somewhere. Your child knows this is a rule number 1. Since I wake up in the morning, I have to say Vaheguru 5 times. And while I'm saying Vaheguru, Vaheguru 5 times, I fold my duvet and I put it in nicely with my pillow. Done. Bed is sorted even before he get up and went to the toilet. These are the rules which will put good manners in the children, which will put this appreciation of the duvet. And because he's doing Simran or something, he's just appreciating, he's just being thankful at the same time. When I was young, and I shared this story with one of the Sangat a few weeks ago, when I was young, I heard Sakhi of Chaupi Sahib. And in that Sakhi, I think I was maybe 13, 14. And used to go school at that time. And I learned at that age ki nimarta kinu kende hai. And the Sakhi, the guy who was telling the story, he mentioned ki we should be thanking every single item around us. And he gave a very specific example for children, which is what I picked up at that time at the age of 13, 14. He said, ਬੱਚਿਓ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਕੂਲ ਤੋਂ ਵਾਪਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਨਾ, when you come back from the school, you obviously we ਬੱਚੇ so excited, ਵਾਪਸ ਆ ਗਏ ਘਰ, it's off now, day off now, ਛੁੱਟੀ ਹੋ ਗਈ, now is a home time, and we take off our clothes and we throw them somewhere. We take off the tie, necktie, we take off the jumpers and we throw them. And he make us understand ki, you know what, You should not be throwing even a single piece of your dress, school dress. Whenever you take off your jumper, you do matha take. Whenever you take off your trousers, your shirts, your tie, you should matha take ki Maharaj, you have given us the school dress so that we can go to school and we can do. मैं कोशिश ਇਹ ਕੀਤਾ ਆਪਣੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਿ ਨੈਵਰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਟੂ ਟੱਚ ਐਨੀਥਿੰਗ ਵਿਦ ਮਾਈ ਫੀਟ ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਸਿਖਾਇਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਸ਼ੂ ਚੱਕ ਕੇ ਸੁੱਟਦੇ ਆ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਿਤਾਬਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੈਰਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਚੁੱਕ ਕੇ ਸੁੱਟਦੇ ਆ, that's not respect. So these small little things impart a very good manners and behaviors in our children. Yes, and this is true that emotions play a very good role, but please don't be emotional every time. Don't make your emotions come over all the time at all the place. So we have to, I mentioned earlier, we have to be calm. We have to be enough comforting while we are dealing with our children. We cannot be physical with them. We cannot be harmful to them. They will pick up those habits which we never ever wanted them to pick up from us. If they are doing bad behavior, if they are showing bad behavior, yes, definitely there are ways to give them a kind of positive punishment. But many times children do show good behaviors also. That's the time when we should be appreciating them. We should be having some gifts to give them, very small items. Appreciations are also very important for them, so that they also learn to appreciate others when similar time comes. I mentioned this briefly earlier. We should be very firm in saying no when it is needed. Let's not your vadiyai, let's not your kind-heartedness come in a way and say yes every time. Yes every time, even if it is you feel that yes you can do it, even then just think twice before saying yes to your child. And don't just give your children materialistic stuff. Talk about spiritualism also. Spend time with them. Give love to them in terms of spending time with them, not just being given them some gadget or some toys or some games or something. Even when we go on to the holidays, husband and wives are more interested in spending time with them. Sorry to say this, not with the children, but it should be other way around. Husband and wives have already spent time with each other. That's why children happen, hana. ਹੁਣ ਸਾਡਾ ਫਰਜ਼ ਬਣਦਾ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਵੱਲ. ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਮੌਕਾ ਚਲਾ ਗਿਆ, ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੁੱਛਣਾ ਆ. ਬੱਚੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨੇ, they belong to us, and they are good or they are bad belong to us. ਜੇ ਚੰਗਾ ਕਰਨਗੇ, if your children is becoming an astronaut in NASA, you are getting all the goodwill. But if your children end up as getting into the drug addiction, you are the one who going to be suffering it. So it's on us, it's up to us. But this is the age, this when they're growing up, when moms have given birth to a child, that's the time when this whole journey starts, and we have to put so much effort into making them a nice human being. ज़्यादा protective भी नहीं होना या ज़्यादा restrictive भी नहीं होना या, but yes, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਖਿਆਲ 'ਚ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ ਰੱਖਣਾ ਆ. We are the one who can teach them to be self-regularized. ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਧਿਆਨ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਆਪਣੀ ਟੀਮ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਂਭਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਆਪਣੇ ਮੈਨੇਜਰਸ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੋਟਸ ਬਣਾਉਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਆਪਣੀ ਮੈਨੇਜਰ ਦੀ ਮੀਟਿੰਗ ਕੋਲ ਜਾਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਸਾਰਾ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਵਾਟ ਐਵਰ ਦੇ ਸੇ, ਬਟ ਵੀ ਡੋਂਟ ਬ੍ਰਿੰਗ ਦੋਸ ਥਿੰਗਸ ਬੈਕ ਇਨ ਹਾਊਸ, ਕਿ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਸੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਂਭੀਏ, ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਰੈਗੂਲਰਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰੀਏ, ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਲਾਈਫ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਪੰਚੁਐਲਿਟੀ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਈਏ. These are the ways where if we start bringing, many of us are already doing them, but for them who are not doing it, we can start anytime. There's never been late. So I hope some of the parents have already joined online, and because this video is recorded so they can watch later on, but this was a request from good few families from some time that we should be sharing our experiences. Before we say thank you to all of you, I want to share how gurus have actually said very similar things. Guru Har Rai Sahib Maharaj Ji walking in the field, in the garden, and their chola actually touched to one of the flowers, and the flowers fell off and on the ground. Guru Har Gobind Sahib Maharaj actually told them off at that time कि पुत्र जी थोड़ा जो तुसी ध्यान नाल चलो. बहुत लंबी साखी है. I'm not going into detail, but this sakhi shows the compassion. This sakhi shows how our gurus also have taught the kindness, the telling them good behavior, telling the good manners into the child. Although Guru Har Rai Sahib Maharaj was Guru themselves, and Guru Har Gobind Sahib Maharaj telling them, it's a very big deal. But we need to learn this, that our gurus also said कि अपने बच्चियां नू सांभ के रखो, अपने ਨਿਆਣਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਾਂਭ ਕੇ ਰੱਖੀਏ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜਸਟੀਫਾਈਡ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਦਾ ਬਿਹੇਵੀਅਰ ਕਰੀਏ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ they become a very good human being. And I mentioned the last thing in today's session is Baba Atal Rai ji. Because of the spiritual family background, because of the spirituality already in them, they also did something which they shouldn't be doing. They were the son of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Maharaj. Son of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Maharaj, Baba Atal Rai ji. And one day, while playing with the friends, they were playing cricket, bat ball, and they bowled, and Mohan, one of the friends, did the batting, and it become dark in the evening, and Guru and Baba Atal Rai ji said, okay, you give your turn tomorrow in the morning. I will bat and you will bowl. Next day in the morning, when Mohan went into the fields in the early morning to just go to toilet and stuff, ਉੱਥੇ ਕੋਬਰਾ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਪੈਰ ਰੱਖਣ ਦੇ ਕਰਕੇ ਕੋਬਰਾ ਨੇ ਮੋਹਨ ਨੂੰ ਬਾਈਟ ਕੀਤਾ and Mohan got dead. Play time हो गया. All the friends, including Baba Atal Rai, son of Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji, they were waiting in the playground. Mohan doesn't come. Mohan's family is all upset, mourning that Mohan have went. 4 hours, 4.5 hours have gone. Some friends started boiling up कि मोहन दी अजवारी सीगी वो तां नहीं आया, मोहन तां ही नहीं देन आया अपनी वारी. Baba Atal Rai ji said, no, we have to go to his house, we have to get him, and he has to give his turn. They went to the house. Mohan was dead, and Baba Atal Rai said, where is Mohan? Parents said, he is lying in the bed. Baba Atal Rai ji went inside. Mohan, get up, you have to give your turn. Because of his spirituality, Mohan got up. After 4.5 hours being dead, Mohan got up. And he came out, he gave the turn. Baba Atal Rai ji did batting, and this whole piece of information just spread like a wildfire. And people got, wow, I mean, beautiful. Baba Atal Rai have got so many good spirits, big spiritual powers, that they can actually make people alive, dead people alive. When Guru Har Gobind Sahib Ji got this news, they become a bit upset that Baba Atal Rai shouldn't be using their spiritual powers in this way. And they had one-to-one conversation with Baba Atal Rai that you should be doing it. Your grandfather, Guru Arjan Dev Ji, gave their life and not used any spiritual power, so you shouldn't be doing it. So something have to happen now. We have it. I mean, because Mohan was made alive, something have to happen now. Someone have to go. And Baba Atal Rai got the idea, got this hint in their head that it will be very bad if my dad Guru Har Gobind Sahib will go. So they did beinti ki Maharaj, you please stay. You stay for ages, and I'll go. Next day, Baba Atal Rai did Ishnan, did Japji Sahib da Path around the Kaulsar Sahib within the vicinity of Harmandir Sahib, and they gave up their life because they brought back Mohan. So coming back to the point that parents in the Guru's times, they have also been very firm in upbringing the children. Guru Har Gobind Sahib could have easily let it go. No, but they didn't. So if Gurus have done this, we should also be doing it. We should also be firm. We should also be responsible. We should also be taking 100% care of our children because we are responsible for it. So Sat Sangat Ji, if I said anything wrong, please forgive me. It was very nice to have darshan of all of you. Vaheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Vaheguru Ji Ki Fateh.